Gamecast Continuum.
Welcome everybody to Gamecast Continuum, and thank you so much for tuning into our show. We are your hosts, MrBojangles, 1984, and...
Drakedangerson, no numbers.
yes, Drakedangerson, no numbers. Here at Gamecast Continuum, we choose one of the greatest games from past or present and go into their history in detail. But before we get into all of that, we need to take care of a little bit of housekeeping. We do this show live every Sunday night at mixer.com/gamecastcontinuum. After the show, we upload the video to our YouTube channel and the audio version on on Podbean and iTunes. You can find us on all three by searching for Gamecast Continuum, but the best way to keep up to date with the show is to follow us on Twitter at GCContinuum. There, we'll tweet when we're going live, what the next week's game is going to be, and if there'll be any changes to the schedule. Most importantly, you can send us your feedback to gamecastcontinuum@gmail.com. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's get started with our show. And this week, we'll be covering Mario Kart 8!
Oh!
I don't know the sound effects for like the Blue Turtle shell. So we'll probably go with that.
You want to know what the actual sound is? It's just a giant fuck you when you're in first place.
Just giant middle fingers raining down from the sky.
That's kind of how it feels. I think we've all been in first place and been hit with the Blue Turtle shell and subsequently turned off our system and walked outside and just stared at a deer or something to get our minds off the yeah. Anyway,
fuck this game.
Fuck this game. Fuck you, friends. I don't want you guys having my pizza. You're out of here.
All right. So it's another installment in the Mario Kart series, which was developed by Nintendo, but they had a little bit of help from Namco Bandai Holdings on this one. They helped them with the development process.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't put Pac-Man in the cart, which would have been awesome.
It would have been cool if we had some DLC characters or some unlockables that were Namco.
Yeah, Hachi.
Yeah. I mean, any of them would have been cool.
Yeah.
But it was published by Nintendo, of course.
Fancy that.
Yeah. And it was originally only available on the Wii U, which launched in May 30th, 2014. I started to say the 20 before the 30. But there is also a version available now for the Nintendo Switch, which came out on April 28th, 2017. And the name's a little bit different. They slapped a deluxe on the end of it. And there's another reason for that also.
It comes with extra mayo.
Yes, it comes with extra mayo with the side of cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, yum.
As I mentioned briefly, this is the 8th iteration in one of Nintendo's cash cow kart racing series, and it was initially confirmed in 2013. Now, given the development cycle, that probably means it started being developed in 2011. And
we'll never get those numbers. Nintendo's super secret.
Yeah, we'll never know when it actually started. But at one of their events, Nintendo Direct, which is where they give, like to run about every quarter for Nintendo, and they kind of update people with games that they're working on. But it was officially revealed at E3 in 2013. When the game launched, there were 32 tracks, and there were 16 additional tracks released through DLC as well. You got 16 racers that came unlocked already, 14 bonus characters that you could unlock through playing the game, and then 6 additional racers which were released through the DLC. How many vehicles? 26 vehicles were released with the base game, with 11 through the DLC, making for a grand total of 37. If you can't do the maths, I did it for you.
Damn it. It's also a prime number.
Yeah, it is. Good job. This installment introduced anti-gravity, and that allowed players to drive on just about any surface in the game. Of course, there are some enhancements and bug fixes that came through updates pushed by the developer. And one of them in the first update, which was released in August of 2014, came with enhancements such as optional course map on the screen and a player statistics screen as well.
Yeah, so you can brag about how you did with your friends, or they can rub it in your face as they usually did to me.
All right, well, I have 275 first place finishes. What's
Yeah,
up?
you can just mute that person and block them.
Yeah, you don't need those friends.
No, not at all.
The November 2014 update added the biggest enhancement ever, which was the amiibo support.
Yes.
If you're not huge in Nintendo or have been living under a rock for the past, I don't know, decade, amiibos are these little figurines that you can place on. I think even you just put them on the Switch itself right now,
Mm-hmm.
and it picks up and it unlocks extras inside of the game. Evidently, one of the big ones was the Cloud and the Mega Man amiibos.
Actually, I just put that on there because I just got the Cloud the day I was writing this, and it looks fucking awesome. And
Yeah.
Mega Man happens to be one of my favorite video game characters of all time. I think those two are awesome. Same with the Meta
Nice.
Knight, which is up there somewhere. Um, it's the little dark Kirby dude who looks awesome.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, in the third update in April of 2015, we got the 200cc class and new racing suits unlocked via amiibos, and this marked the introduction to DLC to the kart series. The DLCs added new courses, vehicles, and characters, which is a pretty good pack for a DLC to a racing game.
Yeah, they're actually it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this is a kart game. I don't know if you've ever played
What's a
one of
kart
these.
game?
Well, it's one of those cool little mini racer games with your favorite little characters. They made like these for just about every popular video game series, including Crash Bandicoot and Sonic.
Yeah, Crash Team Racing.
Yeah. Basically, like the gist of it is you just join your favorite characters from Nintendo, and and a few other outlets. They've had some characters outside of it. I think, at least outside the Mario series. And it's a race that will take you through a bunch of twists and turns, and you get some cool items through the way, and you can use the blue shell when you're in like second place to fuck over the person in first place, which when you're in second place is awesome, but when you're in first place it's a real damn buzzkill.
Oh yeah.
But it came with some awesome game modes. Grand Prix, which is like the it's what everyone kind of came with. You just kind of move up the ladder with different CC groups from 50 to 100 to 150, and then eventually the 200 once it came out to get Too Fast, Too Furious. But it's really just it's really just racing the other racers. You get a certain amount of stars, then you move to the next the next levels. Time trials, beat your best time. I try to like do some more research on that, but it's really just the time trials. There's nothing special about that.
Yeah,
you have
like
a
you
versus
legit
race.
set a time and then just keep trying to beat it.
Yeah, you just keep trying to beat it. You'll get a little ghost card on there that was you before, and you'll try to beat that. You have versus, which is a local play with up to 4 players. I don't understand. I'm not saying I don't understand, but I kind of like get confused. Like, is this 4 people coming with their giant Wii U's? Like, hey guys, let's do this. But you can set as any difficulty, and you can practice on your favorite courses as well if you wanted to set it to like AI and stuff.
Nice.
There's a bunch of battle modes. So the first was balloon mode. You pop the balloons, be the last one with balloons, you win. It's you use things to pop the balloons like weapons or different items to do it. There's Shine Thief, which sounds like really cool, which is like a capture the flag mode. You capture the shine and keep it until time runs out. The longer you keep it, the better overall score you get. You have Bob-omb Blast, which is would have been one of my favorites, which you use the bombs to blow up other players.
That
Which
sounds cool.
I know it's the only weapon you get. These little doo doo doo. But they're not the bombs from the Mario movie. Never watched the Mario movie. Um,
Ugh, it's a rough
you're
one.
welcome. I know the Goomba. Um, there's only one really good part, and that's the elevator. That's all I'm gonna say. We have coin runners is really just collect the most coins while avoiding like a bunch of shitty obstacles, which is another great thing in Mario Kart is get used to like obstacles that you'll just end up hating. Even cows are on the course, I think, on the old farm level. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. You have a Renegade Roundup, which is a cops and robbers type of thing, where the cops have piranha plants in front of their vehicle and chase down the renegades and put them in jail. Which the best way to describe that. It had a really long like description. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, this is the best way to describe this is like you chase down people with your piranha plants, which just munch everything in front of them, and then it basically kind of like puts baby in a corner, and then they get put in jail.
Baby in the
There's
corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
I know we're living on the 20th, or I think it's 25-year anniversary of that movie. Yikes.
Yep.
We have an online mode, and in this mode you can play players in your region or worldwide and find out who's the best. This is your typical online PvP type of thing.
Essentially Grand Prix, but just online with other people.
Yep, just having some fun.
Okay.
And it's not just not local, but you can play people outside of your friends list.
Right.
Yeah, we have a various different vehicle classes. We have the 50cc, which is the grandfatherly slow drivers, like on a Sunday morning Denny's run. You have the 100cc's for, oh my god, I'm going a little faster. 150cc's is like, oh, this is getting good. And then 200cc's where you shit your pants at ludicrous speed.
Did he just say ludicrous speed?
Ludicrous speed. What's the matter, Colonel Sanders chicken?
Great movie.
Oh, fantastic movie. We have a bunch of racers here. A lot of these are going to be like, if you've never played a Nintendo game in your life, and this is the first this is the first podcast you're ever listening to for anything,
you
like
might get a little lost, but
might get a little lost. Luckily there's a thing called Wikipedia, and I'm going to say 99% of you have heard of probably 99% of these characters.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah. They were separated in different weight classes, so there's light, medium, and heavyweight. Of the light classes, starting out, you have Toad, no shit, Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, he's always my favorite. Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, and Baby Daisy. Imagine that the babies are lightweight. In the no. In the medium class, you have Mario, Luigi, Mario. Oh, there we go again. Peach. Oh, I don't think she's gonna be like being called in the medium class. Daisy either. And then you have Yoshi, which I'm having a hard time trying to think that Mario is the same weight as a baby dinosaur, but whatever.
Yeah, evidently there's like ends of the spectrum, so to speak. When I was doing the research to break them up into the different weight classes, it said like Peach was one of the lightest medium class racers, and like Yoshi was like one of the heavier medium class racers. Yeah, so it fluctuates within the same weight class.
Oh my god, so much science.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, this one's gonna be fun. This is the heavy class. We have Bowser, Donkey Kong, Wario. Those all make sense. Waluigi, the evil version of Luigi, who's basically a stick man.
Yeah, he should be medium class.
Hell, I'd even throw him in light.
Yeah, maybe like the really heaviest light class. Yeah, he's just tall and lanky. There's no meat on that guy.
Unless, well, let's hold on there. Maybe he has some really good bone density. Like he has heavier bones than everybody.
He might.
I think that's where we're going to go with Waluigi being in there. Good job, Nintendo. We did the research for you.
Yep, there it is. Figured out here first in Gamecast Continuum.
That's right. We're breaking the news. Fucking almost 3 years after release. Um, um, we have some unlockable racers. The light class includes the Lakutu, which is the little guy that sits on the cloud.
Yeah.
Toadette, Baby Rosalina, who is ooh, which series is she from? Is she from? I think she's from the Mario Land series, isn't she?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. Like the old Game Boy ones, which were actually really good games for,
they were really good. Yeah.
yeah, for being on a monochromatic platform. Whatever. I'm losing it. I'm sorry. Uh,
Okay.
we have Lemmy, Larry, Wendy. These are all the Koopa kids. If you haven't played Super Mario Brothers 3, just put down whatever you're doing right now and go play that game.
Yeah.
These are all the children of King Koopa. I always wondered who the mother is, but I never got too far into it. Maybe it's Princess Peach, but anyways.
You
Um,
never know.
yeah, well, hey, I'm not one to
He
judge.
he did capture her several times.
He did,
There must have
and
been
I think
at least a little bit of hanky panky in there somewhere.
probably he just had a broken heart. She probably just broke his heart. That
Hmm.
that he had all the kids, and or she had all the kids and left him for some Italian plumber. Oh man. Anyways, in the unlockable medium class, we have Iggy and Ludwig, who are also the sons of Anarchy, Bowser, and then in the heavy class we have Rosalina, who again bone density,
Yeah.
Metal Mario, Pink Gold Peach, who must be like a different Super Saiyan version of Peach. We have Roy and Morton, who are also two of the Koopa kids.
Yeah. Just
Um,
a little stockier than the others.
yeah, they are. They're they're a couple of little chunkers. They're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine. They
It's
look
okay.
great. um, we have any class. Um, which
Yeah, I didn't know what
me,
else to call it,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah, they're kind of like the me characters, which is like the character you create on the system. Which some people make them look like themselves. Otherwise, they look like weird cosplay camp people.
Yep.
Um, yep. I fall into the latter. Um, the weight class is determined by the actual weight data associated with the me that is being used. I wonder if if you were playing like the Wii trainer thing, the one where people would exercise and stuff, if
Hmm.
like you can actually fluctuate your weight.
Probably. I mean, if it
Yeah.
keeps tracking it, it updates it on your.
Yeah, it updates it on your
It keeps
actual me
updating it
count.
on the system as you do the workouts and what have you.
Yeah. Goes out of its way to make me feel terrible. Um we have some DLC racers. There were two DLC packs, The Legend of Mario, or yeah, Legend of Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and the Mario Kart 8, and the Animal Crossing Mario Kart 8, which, Animal Crossing always sounds like a great game, but I never quite got into it. Which
Yeah,
both
me
included,
neither.
yeah, both included three races. So when I say like an Animal Crossing character, I'm like, yeah, okay, yep. And then you could buy both packs. And they would unlock eight new character or eight new colors for Yoshi and Shy Guy. Um, Apparently Shy Guy's the Yoshi of the other side. The DLC characters were made part of the base game when in Mario Kart Deluxe for the Switch. It's like basically like the was it the Game of the Year edition of like every other game. They just decided to call it Deluxe.
Yeah, that's why I was saying earlier
Yeah.
that they slapped the deluxe on the end, mainly because they included all the DLC characters as part of the base game when they put it out on the Switch.
So, kids, what did you learn today? Just wait 3 years and you'll get the full game for the exact same price you paid for the base game. Uh, and that's with many. Um, with these DLC characters, we had Isabel, which is a NPC from Animal Crossing. This is the first time Isabel's been on a Mario Kart game.
And the first
Um,
time she was a playable character, also.
oh shit, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We Oh god, I love these characters. We have Tanuki Mario, which is the teddy bear Mario, which he turns into a Mario statue if you press it down and B on the old Mario 3.
Yep.
We have Cat Peach, who these are like characters from the Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. It was the 3D Mario game that came out for it. So you had like Cat Mario, Cat Peach, Tanuki Mario. That's why they brought these characters out.
Yep.
You had the Animal Crossing Villager, male and female, um, which is a variant of the same character in the Wii U version, but is represented by separate characters in the Mario Kart Deluxe on the Switch. And then we had the Heavy Class, which these two are some heavy hitters. Well, at least one of them is. We have
Yeah.
Link and Dry Bowser, which my girlfriend didn't give me Gatorade earlier, and I was a Dry Bowser. But whatever, I'm not gonna punish her for it tonight. He was basically just a skeleton-looking Bowser who looks terrifying. And
Yeah.
Link's Link
is Link.
Who's Link? Link's Link. It's my cat.
Or Kate Goth's dog. Take your pick.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I was always happy that he named his dog and my cat have the same name. I'm
And
going to
he
tell
has
him
another
about
one named Bowser, I think, too.
Yes, he does.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were many vehicles in the game, but just a few that got thrown into the outline. Some notable vehicles, starting with the pipe cart. It's the OG cart that has been in the game since its inception. Been around for about 25 years now. You got the Cat Cruiser, which is a VW Buck type of vehicle. It's based on Princess Peach's cat form.
Yeah.
Which it looks pretty neat for a cat vehicle.
Yeah.
There's the Land Ship, which is a smaller cart that looks like Bowser's warships from the Super Mario Brothers series, which is pretty awesome. Nintendo also did some partnership stuff with Mercedes, and they included the GLA, the W25 Silver Arrow, and the 300 SL Roadster, and it was essentially just kart versions of those popular Mercedes vehicles, which is pretty cool too. You got the Blue Falcon, which
the old buddy fucker.
Yeah, this is the vehicle that was flown by Captain Falcon from the F-Zero franchise. And it's a series that presented many of a controller being broken over the years.
Falcon Punch.
Yes, Falcon Punch. Fuck my life. There was the P-Wing. There's a lot that you could say about it, but it's essentially a Mach 5 made into a cart, which anytime they do stuff like that, I think that's looks really badass.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it looks like the Mach 5, but it's enough that they're not going to get sued.
Yeah, well, they need to keep it just a little bit different so they don't. Then we got a standard bike, which is pretty cool that they included it. It was a basic bike, but it was referencing the Excite bikes. Bikes. Yeah. So that was pretty neat. Throwback to that game. Then we have the Duke. It's definitely not a piece of shit. It's an awesome bike. It glows in sync with the music, which is probably pretty hard on the eyes after a time. You got the Yoshi bike, which is a bike shaped like Yoshi.
Who'd have thought?
They're not trying to throw you off with the name. It's literally a bike that looks like Yoshi. Then you got the Master Cycle, which, if you know anything about The Legend of Zelda, you know that vehicle is tied to Link, because many people chase down the Master Sword. But in Mario Kart, it appears as the horse Epona, Jesus Christ, with the
Epona
Hylian shield, which is freaking awesome that they went all out and did that much for that DLC character's vehicle. And then we got the Bone Rattler, which is Dry Bowser's creepy ass vehicle that looks like a bony 3-wheeled ATV. Essentially, it's like a monster chasing you down.
Yeah, pretty much. And if you've ever ridden a 3-wheeled ATV, it feels like you're gonna die at any moment.
Yeah, imagine that with a big ass Dry Bowser on it, and it's just made out of bone.
Skeleton. God damn it.
Some of the items that we got in the game, some new items that were introduced in Mario Kart 8 were the boomerang flower. It can be thrown up to 3 times, hitting racers in front of you, and then it comes back, which is pretty cool. So like you throw it, if you miss them, you still have a chance of hitting them, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. You get 2 chances at a hit instead of just one with like a regular red shell. You got the piranha plant, which automatically just chomps vehicles and obstacles, and short speed boost for everything it chomps as well. There's the super horn, which blows out a big ass shockwave, hitting other racers and obstacles. So it's basically one of the very few defenses you have against the blue shell.
It's the only defense. And thank you, Nintendo.
Because fuck you, blue shell. Somebody in the back of the pack throws an item and it hits the person in first place. Like, so OP. Anyway, there was the Crazy 8, which, as you can see, and it's the 8th installment. On the logo, the 8 is like a helix kind of shape, kind of like a racetrack, which I thought was pretty ingenious of Nintendo. But the Crazy 8 that summons 8 items: coin, bomb, the mushroom, star, a blooper, green shell, red shell, and a banana, and they circle around you so that you can bring on the pain.
That's right. Hardcore from the brain.
Yes. Not the other kind of hardcore. This isn't that kind of podcast.
Whoa.
Anyway.
Until we do Leisure Suit Larry.
I don't know if that's on the list, but we can change that. Some of the returning favorites, we have the red shell, that one that just kind of bounces all over the freaking place. You can throw it in front or behind the racer. There's the golden mushroom, which is a constant speed boost, which is one that I like to get all the time because I like to go fast.
It's like, think like Paul Walker on the first Fast and Furious when he just keeps hitting the NOS, except your cart doesn't break.
Right, yeah. The carts are a little more well built.
A little more stable, yeah.
Yeah, a little more stable. There was the blooper, which was the squid dude. He sprays ink on all the racers, causing a few to throw their controllers because you're essentially blind, and it just screws up your entire fucking lap. You got the lightning, which it shrinks the other racers, it slows them down, and it destroys their times because it slows you down so much. Everybody just
destroys their it destroys their actual items. So if you're holding holding on to a blue shell.
Well, that's, I guess, technically a second defense against the blue shell, but you don't know if they're holding it, so you can't use it in response.
This is true.
But yeah, that's definitely an item that'll make your friends not want to talk to you for at least a little while. Then we have the spiny shell, and the spiny shell, aka the blue shell,
I hate it so much.
it just automatically targets first place player. It doesn't matter. It's just going to go all the way to the front of the pack and blow them up and give everybody else a chance to catch up. So in other words,
shitty disadvantage.
Yeah. So in other words, fuck you, blue shell. Nobody likes you.
Except the second place person.
Oh yeah, if I'm in second place and I see a blue shell fly by, I'm like, yes.
Like, yeah.
But then I'm like, if somebody else has one also, I am fucked.
Yeah, this is true.
Some of the interesting facts about the game. One of them, the Luigi death stare, and I did include that in the tweet from last week. Apologize for having to postpone this week's episode, everybody. I was not feeling well. Earlier in that week, I did post an image with the Luigi death stare, which is what people started to call it because it's just the look that Luigi gets on his face when anybody is passing by Luigi or has attacked
anything to him.
Yeah, if you did anything to Luigi and you're driving by him, he would just give you this look, and it's just as if he wanted to eat your soul. It's became kind of a big deal on the internet, and because a lot of people noticed it and just plastered it onto a bunch of memes, and it's actually kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, he only got the death stare from being in that creepy ass mansion for a long time, so I kind of understand it. He's
Yeah,
probably somewhat possessed, like in The Exorcist.
Luigi has seen some shit, I'm sure.
Yeah, he got them knowing eyes.
Those knowing eyes. God. Um, and just one other interesting fact I threw in here, which I thought, because I thought it was pretty cool. Not necessarily behind the scenes thing, but when this game launched, the week-to-week sales of the Wii U in the United Kingdom
Jesus.
increased by 662% just shortly after this game came out. And out of those increased sales, 82% was a Mario Kart 8 bundle. Like, that's how much weight this game held for the Wii
Yeah.
U console.
People say Smash Brothers, just shake your head at them, tell them no, it's Mario Party. Nope, I'm just kidding.
It's Mario Kart and Mario Party, I think, are like the two. Well, in any new Mario game.
I mean,
they come
they're
out
both
with.
good games. They're also both friendship destroyers.
Yes. Rage-inducing at times.
Yes.
Oh, shaking your fist at your friends while you're getting hit by blue shells, and
Yeah.
they're getting all the stars in Mario Party because they know
Oh
how to play
man.
the mini games and you don't.
Or they get the what was it, the old N64 what was the thing you got on the palms of your hands? The crap.
Ah, the
It'll come
blisters
to
and
me.
shit.
Yeah, you get all the
Because you're
blisters
using
and
the C
shit.
stick and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. What a
I remember those
great
days.
times though.
Yeah, it was fun.
Little 4 in the morning Mario Kart action. Um Actually one of the one of the bigger pieces of this game was the actual music. A lot of the time, I mean, a lot of the ones before this one, they used like a lot of synth tracks and use synthesizers for
Hmm.
like a lot of the levels. Well, for this one, they used actual real music. A lot of the tracks that were like, at the beach or basically in non like corporeal places like weird solar systems and stuff, they were actually using like actual guitars. They were bringing in live music. And earlier we were talking about a vehicle that changed colors based on the actual movement, would actually glow based on the music, which is like when you read it earlier, like must be annoying, but like when I think about it now, it's like it's actual their way of like showing you like the different musical styles that they actually incorporate into the game. Um,
Yeah,
the
I can
Oh, go ahead.
understand. I was
Yeah.
just say I can understand that. Wanted to
Um.
show that off because it's something new that they're doing.
hmm But they still use synthesizers for like the old, Rainbow Road, I'm assuming, and courses
Yeah.
that, looked like you were playing on Saturn, and Oryx was nope, wrong game. Um some of the composers here, Atsuko Asahi, Shiho Fuji,
Hmm.
Ryo Nagamatsu, and Yasuaki Awada. Ooh, Awada, I wonder.
Not
Anyways,
bad.
yeah. But they were all like a lot of these, uh, especially these four composers came from other games. So that was actually really cool. This game was like a big time development for them when it came to like just going out and getting new people to come into the game, which actually helped it immensely and obviously helped the Wii U for what it was for a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, some of the behind the scenes stuff early in the development, the idea of using a drill to penetrate the ground was considered, but it was discarded for not being as creative as anti-gravity, which is kind of a cool thing to think about. They're like, hey, let's do
Yeah.
a drill. Fuck that, we're gonna do anti-gravity.
Yeah. We're gonna do anti-gravity instead.
Oh, hey, did you play this?
I have not played Mario Kart 8. I've played other Mario Kart games in the series, just not this one in particular. Um, but just with the experience that I've had with other games prior to this one, I know that it's a fun franchise. It's a great game to play with friends. It's just rather enjoyable to play this kind of a racing game because it's just
Yeah.
for funsies. You know,
Oh,
people don't
yeah. There's.
they don't take it all that seriously too
Hmm.
much. Of course, there probably are ones that do, but
Well, there's probably the ones that stream it. That's about it.
yeah, I mean, for the most part, you just load it up just to have a good time. You know, you can play
Hmm.
some of your favorite Mario-based characters and carts on tracks that are themed around the different characters that look really good also. So, good
Yeah, and
game.
then blue shell your friends. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Whatever. War ain't pretty.
No, it ain't. But how about you? Have you played this one?
I didn't. I think the closest I came, I may have played it on the Wii U a little bit because my girlfriend's sister had a Wii U, but I don't think I did. Also, I probably won't be getting a Switch, so
Yeah, me
I still
neither,
have
probably.
I still have 7 for my 3DS, which I'm totally fine with.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've yet to get any type of DS system. Last Nintendo handheld I had, I think, was the Game Boy Mini.
Oh man,
I had the
I'm
red and
sorry.
gold one, the shiny one.
I have oh, it's not here right now. It's just the gray new 3DS. No big deal. I love the thing. I take it with me everywhere. Um, but this game was actually reviewed very well. Big surprise there.
Yeah, it
Um,
was. I was
yeah,
surprised.
I wasn't. They're usually pretty good when it comes to the kart series. Eurogamer gave it a 10 out of 10. Um, the most vibrant home console racing game in years, and they praised the exquisite details, the vast sense of scale, and the gameplay. Which, in a nutshell, means the gameplay is still there, but the levels were just faster and bigger, and
Yeah.
they looked awesome. Um, GameSpot gave it 8 out of 10. Generally praised the game, but criticized the game for reuse of the regular levels for the battle mode. Like kind of what I went over it. The only new one that I went over earlier was the cops and robbers mode. The other ones came from other games, so I guess it's a fair critique. They look to be like the lowest ones though, and it's like um, the Switch version came out. IGN gave it a 9.3, and then GameSpot for some reason gave it a 9 out of 10. So it must have been a different reviewer.
Well,
They're
and
like,
something that I didn't really put it in the rundown,
mm-hmm.
um, but something that they did put in their review for the Switch version is they actually went in and changed battle mode
Oh, I gave
and
it a
made it in a way that people were expecting. So they really liked that.
awesome.
Yeah,
Uh, good. Another thing. Like it's nice when a company listens to its fans.
indeed,
Uh,
it really is. More
I'm
of them
pretty
should
sure
do
when
that.
when GameSpot wrote that down, they got a nasty phone call from Nintendo. What the hell do you mean?
What do you
Um,
mean?
Wii U, it's sold quite a bit. 1.2 copies sold worldwide within the first 4 days of launch.
1.2 million copies.
Million copies. I don't even know 1.2 million people had Wii U's. And then
Right?
jumped to yeah, 2.82 million by the end of the first month of launch. There's a guy that I work with who's a big Nintendo fan, and he swears by this game now or then for the Wii U and now for the Switch. I actually talked to him a little bit about it to try to get some idea of the game. As of August 14th, 2014, there were over 1 million copies sold in the US alone and over 2 million. See, again, there's 1 million people didn't have a Wii U, whatever. And 2 million by the end of June in 2015. And then December 31st of 2016, the game sold about 8.26 million copies worldwide, making the best-selling Wii U game at the time. No shit. Uh, the Switch, by the time of the release, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe became the best-selling game in 2017 on Amazon, which is impressive
Yep.
considering everything. It became the fastest-selling game in the franchise's history, selling 1.2 million copies worldwide in 3 days, then 3.5 units sold worldwide as of June 30th, 2017. That's just a few months ago, guys.
Yep.
Yep. Which is pretty awesome because the Switch just came out and actually has been getting really good reviews for it. So good on them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
Eurogamer gave. Oh, go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say it just barely squeaked out the Wii. U version of being the fastest selling game in the franchise. Did 1.2 million copies in 3 days compared to the 4 days it took for the Wii U version.
Yeah, but I think there's more people with the Switch. At least I see more people actually with the Switch than I ever did the Wii U.
Yeah.
Um, some of the awards, Eurogamer gave it a 10 out of 10 and then gave it their Game of the Year in 2014. GameSpot Wii U Game of the Year in 2014. They gave it an 8 out of 10. You jerks.
What other games came out around that time on the
God.
Wii U that were actually good though?
You're probably right. Yeah, even the second Bayonetta wasn't that great. The Game Awards in 2014, they gave it the best family game. So if your family's playing this against each other, you're probably all screaming at each other, and nothing's ever getting done in the house. And then they gave it the best sports/racing game. I can only imagine the internet when they gave them that award.
I'm assuming there aren't that many sports games that are available on the Wii U.
But it doesn't.
Or if
It looks
sports/racing is just the one category.
I think it was just the one category.
Hmm.
So I'm sure there's some Madden fan talking about them changing one frame rate on the football.
That's what I was thinking too. Is like the Madden is typically the best-selling sports game,
but not the best. Console. Yeah, but not the best game. Or best sports game. A lot of the NBA games are better, but that's neither here nor there.
I do prefer the NBA games myself. So.
But problems. I mean, Nintendo's pretty solid. They and they're also like a Fort Knox, so not a lot of
solid and tight-lipped about their issues.
Yeah, their shit don't leak.
Maybe until like 10 years after the fact.
Yeah, until there's
like the shit between Sony and Nintendo and how the PlayStation came about. Like that information is readily available right now, but at the time, I'm sure it was really difficult, if not impossible, to even know what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, the only thing people knew was like one year Nintendo had a giant CD on one of their systems, and the next year they didn't.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the PlayStation was born.
Oof. But yeah, that's all I got. Any final thoughts?
Not really. I mean, no hands-on experience with this game in particular, the Mario Kart 8 itself, so
yeah.
I don't really have much to go on other than the fact that I'm impressed with how well it sold and the impact that it had on console sales in the UK. I mean, that kind of blew me back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just the power that one flagship title can have for a console or even for the development company is just astonishing. People.
It's kind of a dying breed.
It is. I mean,
you have maybe
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's still new to even know what the impact of that is. Yeah, I mean, the most you have is like Halo on the Xbox and maybe God of War on PlayStation. Yeah. Like, and neither of those two, I personally don't think touch Mario or the Kart series.
No,
it's not even close.
No, not really. I mean, did you have any closing thoughts, or do we just want to pick next week's exciting game that we'll be covering?
No. I think we covered it, just about everything.
All right. So next week we'll be going to the 2000s.
Again.
Well, we were in the 2010s for like.
I know.
So now we got games like Metroid Fusion, Final Fantasy X, Shadow of the Colossus. Let's see what game we get to cover. 9. My fancy little list. It's just a Google sheet on Google Docs. Max Payne.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Oh, man. I wasn't expecting that one.
I like this game a lot.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of Max Payne, so.
I won't even get into the weird blood part. We'll save that for next week.
Some of the things were quirky and wonky, yes. I will definitely agree with you there. The bullet time, I think, was very innovative at the time. It was like the first one that had that sort of gameplay mechanic, right?
Yeah, it was right around the same time as The Matrix, so.
But anyway, we'll get more into detail on that next week. But that is going to do it for us this episode. This has been MrBojangles 1984. You can find me on the Twitters. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, all under MrBojangles 1984. And where can people find you, Drake?
You can search for Drakedangersons on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. You can also, sometimes find me on my corner, selling my shit. Whatever.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
All right. All right. Well, just DM that address for the corner, and I'm sure you get some company. But as always, thank you guys so much for being here with us live on Mixer, watching us on YouTube, or listening on Podbean or iTunes. Make sure to follow us on those channels and on Twitter at GCKontinuum to keep up to date. And don't forget to send your feedback to gamecastcontinuum@gmail.com so that way we can make this show better together. But
Aw.
until next time, thanks again for tuning in, and game on.
Thanks, Brosifs.